Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I want to talk about the idea of not comparing yourself to people who have to be fit for a living. I know when I look on social media and YouTube, there's fitness influencers who have millions of followers. So obviously, there's many people that will look to them for inspiration and motivation. I'm no different. I have plenty of fitness influencers that I follow because let's face it, they do have fantastic physiques. They do give a lot of good tips and information on diet and nutrition and workout regimens. So there's nothing wrong with looking at them, but it's thinking that we can be them, thinking that we could cater our lifestyles the way that they cater their lifestyles to having a certain type of physique 24/7 that I think often leads to a pretty large and pretty disappointing disconnect. I know when I worked in the fitness industry, I was around many professional bodybuilders, and their lives would be very strictly based on achieving a certain level of physique, not even a certain level of strength, health, fitness, strictly physique. And in order for them to achieve that, they would sleep 8, 9 hours a day. They would find a way to do it where the average person struggles with 5 or 6 hours because they're stressed about what's happening the next day, or they have anxiety that's preventing them from falling asleep. They would work out at least an hour a day, and their workouts were very different from the average person's workouts. They would go in there and they would hit it as heavy as possible, very often with little compromise, very often with somebody who would assist them as far as spotting them to make sure that they could push themselves as hard as possible to make sure that they're building or maintaining the muscle that they have. They would eat very clean, 4 to 6 meals a day, usually large volume, but healthy, clean foods. They were definitely the rice, chicken, and broccoli type. And of course, your protein shakes, supplements, all of the things in between, and just for full transparency, when you're working out that hard as well, not everybody can recover for the next day, right? Sometimes people are taking steroids so that they can recover the next day. So there's so many things that go into what we ultimately see as that finished product of someone who's just in fantastic shape, somebody who's an influencer, somebody who's on the cover of that magazine. And when we're working out thinking that that's going to be our end goal and that's what we need to accomplish, if we're just not living that lifestyle, we shouldn't exactly have those expectations. Yeah, there are times where I'm getting pretty lean and I want to fine tune it and just dial it in and get into, push myself to another level. And it's in those cases where I'll really enjoy looking at these videos and think about how can I, really lose this excess fat while maintaining my muscle. But the difference is I don't have those expectations of keeping a certain type of physique all year round. I'm okay with the idea of, we just had our holidays, for example, and I went in. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with allowing my weight to fluctuate. I'm okay with taking breaks. I'm okay with celebrating if the occasion arises with a friend or family member, going on vacation and being in and out of, different types of physiques. And really, I'm speaking about body fat percentages because I tend to always go to the gym and lift weights if I'm not taking a break. So it's just allowing my physique to somewhat alter based on the fact that I live a regular, normal life with as much discipline as I can and as much fitness as I can without looking at what's going on social media as an influencer, as an influence. A big influencer that I know, Athlete X, I used to watch a lot of his videos back in the day. He used to be very popular. I think he's still very popular, but he was, everywhere, it seemed like, for a while. And he did an interesting interview where he was talking about how he's lean all the time. He does his videos without his shirt on, and he was saying how his wife doesn't really like the fact that his face gets very thin or is very thin because of the low body fat percentage that he has. He says when he keeps that low body fat percentage, He really notices a large effect that it has on his face. And even he wishes that his face was a little bit fuller, but because he needs to maintain the lower body fat percentage for his videos, that's the compromise that he needs to make. He was saying he wishes there was a way for him to be as lean as he is and have a fuller face, but he's disciplined and dedicated to obviously his craft. And let's not even dismiss, of course, we cannot dismiss the financial incentive that all of these people have to maintain that physique. I mean, if I told you, hey, let's switch it up, let's make sure that you're making six figures or even seven figures in some of these people's cases to maintain a certain physique. And that's the only thing you're going to have to do. You're not going to have to worry about any other job. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can make that shift. I'll make that shift. So it's just a matter of our circumstances being different. When we're happy with who we are, we don't have to make these necessary changes in order to be a certain type of way on screen. I would take a few extra percentages of body fat to have a fuller face, but I'm not in his shoes. So, of course, I'm not telling someone else how to tie their laces. We just need to keep that in mind. People are functioning 24/7 to maintain a certain type of physique. And then we're talking to the average person who is working a 9 to 5 job, who is very busy trying to take care of their family, who is very occupied with thinking about what they can do for themselves financially, who's very stressed, who's trying to figure out so many different things. But they're also looking at this person working out and they're saying, hey, I want to have what this person has, despite the fact that I live in entirely different lifestyle. So it's not a matter of saying anything is good or bad. Everything is a matter of awareness. So we at least understand where we're going in this process and where maybe we need to peel it back and understand what's ultimately just going to be best for us. And one thing I just want to leave you with, it's a quote about fitness that always strikes me, because we may be discontent with where we're at, physically, because we're comparing ourselves to another person. But you have to remember that no matter what level of fitness you are, no matter what physique you may have, when you're in the gym and you look to the right of you, there's someone who you wish you were. There's someone that you would kill to be. And if you look to the left of you, there's someone who wishes they had your physique, and there's someone who would kill to be like you. So that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.